Welcome to the Commander Smiths.
We are the Commander Smiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowry Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
This is episode 325. And Renshaw, I'm going to give you this. Wait. Oh, nope. I almost went to the wrong one. I was about to swear at you, but a wizard is never late.
Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means.
We're not late, buddy. We're not late.
We could swear at him, too.
Well, I think I was going to accidentally hit this one.
Holy
that wasn't swearing at him.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So it says, is the cracking one from one of your? Oh no, the cracking one open is me opening a beer. So I kind of purposely, God, microphone, stop moving.
That's a good one. That's a good idea. I've been drinking for 15 minutes. What are you drinking?
The same as last week. I keep going and buying it because I'm liking your Waconia chocolate beer. Actually, I should say I am drinking that Drecker sour one or whatever from. Oh, that's what's in here.
Drecker's better. I'm gonna say that.
Hey, I'm talking about your town right there, buddy.
That's
you're a little Waconia
That's right.
there.
I don't.
What are you drinking this week? And again, the Malort shots are up. I think I forgot to even put
that's a good point.
Link. Shoot.
Malort shots are on the table. I'm drinking, so we are allowing you to buy us shots. I am drinking 3 different beers from my birthday last month. This one is Oscar's Chocolate Oatmeal Stout. It has a bear on it, and it's a real beer from Wisconsin. I have forgotten
beer from Wisconsin
gave it to me. I'm fairly certain. Maybe this was up north. Maybe this is from
Guys Weekend.
I don't remember at this point, but it's solid. It's aight. It's aight. And then I know these 2 came from my birthday. My buddy Sean brought them. I got Zombie Dust 3 Floyds, and then this is Zombie Ice. So it's Zombie Dust, but a double IPA version of it. So
somebody knows you like zombies for some reason, or that it's
no. He was just trying different things. He doesn't really know my style, and so it was like a 6-pack, pick 6 pack thing.
Nice.
He was very kind about it. So
yeah. So again, the Malort shots, we are changing that up. We're not doing the drinks for now at this point because Lowry's drinking for the next foreseeable future. That $15 gets us each of us taking shots. I'll have to update that on the link in the YouTubes at some point. I forgot to do that this time. So all that out of the way, out of the drinking and all that stuff. What do we have in store for this week's episode or this week's podcast?
Yeah. So this one last week was the Power 9 of Commander, and this week is different but similar, as in the Mount Rushmore of Commander cards. Magic, clearly. And so this was really hard to pin down how.
Yes, I don't know.
Each of us wanted to do it.
I still don't know.
We'll talk about it at the beginning. We have one card that we have in similar, like it's automatic. That is it. And then we have 3 different ones, opinions.
We'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes.
We'll see how that goes. But first we want to talk. Oh, we also have Stump the Smith Savant at the end. But at the beginning here, we want to talk a little bit of Secret Lairs that's happening currently.
Let me jump over
right now
to that really quick. Okay, so we did do a video last week because we knew that this was not going to be a long drop at this point. Because last time we didn't get burned, but we kind of did, I guess. Let me get this little.
I would say as content creating aspect, we got burned.
Yeah, as we were going,
and we weren't able to inform people that listened to us in a timely manner.
So yeah, we went live last time on the last drop with the Fallout one. And as we went live, one of them sold out, and so it kind of threw a little wrench in the whole thing. So this time we actually went a little early because we missed one of the drops because it came out on, I think, Friday or Saturday. We missed the this Goblin one right here, the Goblin Gram, so Instagram one, which is fine that we missed that one, and we didn't know what the bundles were going to be and all that stuff. But this time, we already had a sellout within 5. Let's see, it sold out at 4:30, one of them. So 5.5 hours, we got one of them sold out. And that was the one that they're going to continuously do for the next 4 super drops that'll be in there is the Hatsune Miku one. So the foil. So we didn't know that they were going to do a Japanese. I think there were hints at it. And then they came out with the Japanese one. So we have English and Japanese version. English one sold out first. Japanese was shortly after, both foil versions. And now I think all that is left is the English version non-foil. So you can still get that drop if you want it. But another thing that kind of came in here is Seedborn Muse. Let me scroll up here.
As a bonus card, if you spend how much?
It
doesn't matter.
$200. Yeah, and so we're right there, as you can see, it is no longer available. And from Renshai, it said this sold out actually before any of the other drops sold out, which I wasn't aware that was a limited quantity one. Like, and we were having discussions on the Discord. I was like, well, this one's probably gonna drop really low. It's not going to be like a Noble Hierarch where that one's $30 right now, because that one, when the bundle sold out, that's the only way you could get it. This, I was like, oh, you're spending $200. This one's going to be there for a while. Well, it's probably even less out in the wild, and this is a high demand card, and the art is really good.
Right.
That one's going to be expensive as hell. Like, it's not going to be like the gods, the Scorpion God, the Locust God, the what am I missing there? Scorpion, Locust. And what am I missing? There's the three gods.
It's the black blue one.
Yeah.
Zombie god.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What is his name? Scorpion, Locust, and it's the zombie one. Why am I brain farting? Scarab. Scarab god. Scarab god.
Right.
There.
All right.
So those ones dropped really bad or really low because, or most of them did, because that one was based on the amount you spent. And so you got those for how much you spent, and they were just.
I mean, 2 of the 3 were goofy as shit, though, too.
Yeah,
but
yeah. So
Scarab God was a DJ.
Yeah.
For crying out loud.
It was.
Hey, what are you doing?
But anyways, those are cheap because there was unlimited quantity of them. This, on the other hand, I think because of the lack of them printing this thing's gonna be expensive as hell. So, one thing I also am kind of, I don't know. I don't like that now we don't have a bonus for anything, because this was a $200 bonus. Now the bonuses with this drop is like there's nothing there. So it's basically you get what's left over. So
for sure.
I don't know. What do you feel?
But before there wasn't,
I mean,
before the Scorpion God, there wasn't bonuses coming with however much you bought either.
Every now and then they would have that, but then they would have like bigger discounts or whatever. These aren't even that big of a discount, at least the ones that are left.
All right.
So I don't know. What are your thoughts on the new style? This is now like our second or third drop second official super drop where it's limited quantity,
It's everything that I thought would happen, only like worse, because they're not really holding up their end of the bargain. Because this ships when?
May 31st.
And what the initial announcement is that they would ship it right away. And they're shipping it at the end of the sale.
Right.
Which is what they were doing basically before.
That is
so
a good
that
point.
didn't change. So there isn't any speed upgrade. They're still apparently like pre-printing this. They know how many they have and are willing to sell. Right. And I think what they're doing is there's less and less time that the website is open. Essentially, you're talking maybe a week at the end of this. It's all done. It's not going to last a month. It's not going to last 2 weeks, unless there's something really unpopular. And maybe that's what they were trying to avoid in the first place. But I think you're getting more people upset than happy.
Right.
And that when you have something so limited, like you're leaving money on the table. But maybe what was going on was people were getting bored with Secret Lairs lasting a month. And, and it was just kind of like, and so now all the traffic is within the first week, probably the first 48 hours, right? You're selling stuff out. There's hype. People are going, oh shit, I got to get on there even quicker. I got to do it on my lunch break. You know what I mean? And it creates more urgency, hype, FOMO, whatever you want to call it. That's what they're going for. That's what they're getting. That surprise with Seedborn Muse getting sold out quicker. You're going, holy shit. I cannot wait at this point. If that's something that you really want, you essentially can't wait. Yeah. If you have an idea that you want a set of these and you think it's going to sell out, you got to get on ASAP. You know, when I was on today, it was like a 53-minute wait, which was pretty high.
But it didn't last that long. I mean, they always
it didn't. I think it was 20 to 30 minute actual time.
Mine was 35
but I
and
think
was only 15.
The last time I actually had to wait was when they had that New Year, like, anniversary Christmas drop thing that was limited in supply. You just got one per 30 of the year, you know, one per year for the 30th
years. Anniversary.
And that was really, really cool. Like, that was worth fucking waiting.
Yeah.
So I mean, this thing, it's hype. I think they've dropped the quality of cards.
Yeah,
that they're using.
We talked about that kind of in the Secret Lair breakdown when we did that. Is that we aren't getting those well over $100 worth of value in the drops anymore. It's more mid range. They're not garbage. They're not Lord of the Rings Secret Lair drop.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they are. I mean, Lord of the Rings was the. Remember when I did the breakdown of that? That was like $5. Like the value was $5. These are all a lot better than that. We're getting that mid-range stuff, but with the
usable cards, like, they're respectable. I don't hate any of them. I agree.
Yeah.
But they're not Lightsteel Colossus with Darksteel Colossus.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that was an awesome drop, even with, you know, and so it's a lot of mid-range at this point, and there isn't like the big ticket stuff. And that's kind of what I also assumed. If they're doing big ticket stuff, that would sell out like that. You still have this in the mid-range.
Yeah. I like what Esteban said here. He said, buying Secret Lairs is getting to be like buying T-Swift tickets.
I hope not. Jesus. That stuff gets wild.
I guess the thing is though, like, them doing this, you know, this is our second official super drop that we have going, of them selling out so quickly. It's getting people in the mindset, like you're saying, I need to be on right when the drop hits if I want to get what I want, you know, because it's gonna sell out. Even these that's what is also a big test, is these are mid-range ones and they're selling out. If they do one like the Sheldon one, if the Sheldon was a limited quantity, dude, that would be up for 10 minutes. Like, that's how fast that sucker would go, you know. And I hope that they are varying the amounts that they're printing, like what they think is going to be popular. I'm not sure if they're just going like this.
I don't think they are.
I think they're just, I bet you
they have a flat number that they're doing.
Like 10,000 copies, that's all we want. And each one of those is that amount. So
yeah, they probably know what they average sell, and then they print everything just a wee bit under. So like, if they think they normally sell 12,000 to 15,000, they're printing at 12 to 10,000.
Yeah.
They're leaving thousands of people pissed off.
Yeah.
That's no big deal. And big D. And the other thing too is, this time and last time, the Artist Series ones were the one that popped off really quick within 24 hours. Now, me and you, we're not art aficionados. We enjoy the art, but we don't know these artists. So they must be bringing in their own crowd as well to buy up that stuff. I'm thinking, or they're popular enough that just people really like it. Like, but again, that is pure speculation. I don't know artists' names by any means. I don't know my favorite authors' names. I don't know any of that kind of stuff. So
really quick, not to go too long with this, but overall, your thoughts on you don't like this new way of doing the Secret Lair, right?
I knew I didn't like it. I knew going into it I wouldn't like it. I personally would prefer to limit it to a time frame rather than an amount. And so you have a week instead of a month.
Yes, I would. I'm going to say I like both parts of it. I like that we are limited to a quantity, so you don't get the, like we talked about in the Secret Lair drop, you don't get the Praetor effect where it's...
I have no problem with that, though. Every single person got the Praetors that they wanted it. And then people that thought that it would make money on it, you're wrong. That's okay. That's okay, because it seemed like a really... But that is the balancing effect, a little bit of capitalism. If you know you're going to meet demand and then people are going to overdo it, you're still likely going to make money in the future, but you also got hit when they reprinted it for a third time
Right.
in a year.
And
It
then
wasn't just a secret layer
And
being
then it's
printed
in
a
this
ton.
secret layer as well.
Right. And so, like,
It's like a Tolly, you know.
I don't feel
let's pick a
bad for
Tolly
people that were
because-
trying to spec on it. I'm happy that people were able to get it if they wanted it.
Right.
Now what you have is a limited amount of people that have it, along with a greater demand. And so I think they're trying to fulfill that part of Secret Lair being more expensive. And the cards that were wanted were already expensive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they gain value quick. And then the ones that didn't. I found that fine. Like Sakura Tri-Builder was an $8+ card right away, and it's up to $15-20 right now. Like, I wanted that, but I wasn't going to pay $8 for a card that's $1.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you buy the Secret Lair because it's sweet as shit. But if it was a good card, I'm okay with it being more expensive. But now with a limited availability, even bad cards are going to be overpriced.
Right.
Like they're going to be more expensive.
It's going to be
Why?
like the
Why?
drops that don't get bought. You know,
Right.
The prices are going to go up. And that's what I was going to say. As a speculator, for myself, I buy a lot of these because they are the full, like the best specs you can buy. We've said that many times when we talk about Secret Lairs. It's like almost a sure thing that you could at least get your money back, you know, and that's a good thing to have when you have specs. So I like that aspect that we have a limited quantity, but I think I would agree with if they just didn't have them open for a month, you know, if it was only a week, I'd be fine with unlimited quantities, you know, like that's, we'll see what happens with the Sheldon one. Cause the Sheldon one is going to be a good indicator to see what happens to a fantastic art of Teferi's Protection. And there's a bunch of others, you know, Ink Shield and all that stuff. Or not Ink Shield. Is it Ink Shield? Yeah, it is Ink Shield.
Ink Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of other things that are in there. All like when we did that breakdown, that is one of the best valued Secret Lairs we've ever seen. We'll see what happens because I bet you people bought the shit out of that one. And we'll see what happens to Teferi's Protection. The best art that there'll be. Is that going to drop down to a sub $20 card? If it does, I would say buy it, probably. Because unlike the Paraders, that card gets used a lot. That is one of the top used cards in Commander. It might be on one of our lists coming up here. So we'll see here in a little bit. But yeah, anyways, why?
Just kidding.
All right, so that's all. I guess Secret Lair stuff. We're gonna be. You probably won't see it on the podcast anymore. We'll probably be doing it when we think all the Secret Lairs are out,
Right.
like we did this last time.
So you're welcome, hockey.
Yeah, yeah. He didn't like. It's like every podcast is a Secret Lair.
We may still talk about like
Like we're
ideas
doing
that
now.
come to us like this, but I mean, I'm still stuck on duration rather than amount.
Yeah.
And so I'd rather have everybody happy.
There's I was
and
gonna say
a short-
a lot less complaining. People getting pissed off and butt hurts.
I mean, I think it's fair. It's purposefully reducing the resources, which is a lot less. I don't personally like it. I'd rather have a saturation, and then as the player base grows, then there becomes a reduction in resources, rather than, hey, if you guys are thirsty, you're gonna have to share a gallon of water. And you're like, hey, but you got fucking 100 gallons back there. Could we get unthirsty first?
You
and
should
then
almost make it
people
as
come over.
It's like you should almost make it as like a money making thing too, because it's like they're leaving money on the table. Like it's if you think
Absolutely.
because it's like you would be selling millions more, not millions of copies, millions of dollars more if you made it unlimited. You know, and it's just it is a little bit odd.
Right. I am uncertain why they aren't making people happy and making more money. Like, I don't understand that aspect.
Okay, we talked about this and I don't want to keep going on this because we're 20 minutes in and we haven't even hit the main topic. But you did say something when we were in precast about why do you think they like this model better? And that was a good point you made in there where you were saying because it
I
gets
was just talking. I don't. What do you like about it?
So what you were saying is that this is a lot less work for them because everything's being sold right away. They don't have to worry about the site really much anymore or orders. They have pretty much their orders that are in. You know what's coming in. You don't have to keep monitoring. Oh, we need to print more. We need to make sure we get this, this, and that. And also don't get people complaining as I mean, you get people complain for a different reason, but you know, complaining about how long it's taking them to get their secret layer order and all.
But
that
again,
stuff.
it wasn't taking that long. It was taking maybe an extra week.
They got faster
like,
with it. Yeah, they got a lot.
They're not
COVID times.
much faster. Like it wasn't like that. What they said was you buy it at shipping because they're taking your money too now. It's not. They're not waiting until everything's processed. It's they take your money. It should, from my understanding, it was going to be already printed, and then they're going to start processing and send it right away. That they're taking your money, they're not shipping it right away. It's a limited quantity. More people are unhappy. They're leaving money on the table. I just don't know what the win is other than keeping card prices higher. The only other thing that I can think of is printing schedules. If that was getting too tight and they needed to loosen that up and they just go 10,000, that's all we can do. And then we're moving on to the next thing. Because they are speeding up. It does feel like every 6 weeks they're putting something else new out.
Not Secret
You know
Lair.
what I mean, it was like 3 weeks, and then it was the Fallout series after, and then Murders.
Yeah,
you know, and then it's so fast right now. So maybe that's the only thing I can think of right now. It's just the printing schedule and not being able to spread it out. But I still think that would be if you lowered it down to a week of sales, I think you'd be fine.
Right.
I still think you'd be fine.
But then they'd have a dead site for like a month, and then
they still have that.
Right. I mean, there's cards up.
So it didn't solve that problem.
Right. Well, there's still stuff up there. It's just the garbage ones that no one's going to buy anyways.
Right. It's still a dead site.
Right. All right, let's get off of the Secret Lair talk. So yeah, that's just kind of a little rant in there. If you guys wanted to see the breakdowns of that, I mean, we're breaking it down to tell you which ones to buy, and half of them are gone already, so you can have fun with that. All right, so we're going to get to... Oh, we're not going to do polls yet. We're going to get right into the main topic here. So we're going to do our Mount Rushmore of Commander cards. So obviously, I might as well put it up there. The top one, and this is kind of what got the juices flowing, was when we put the poll up, which we can talk about. Actually, it makes sense to do the poll right now, don't you think so? Hit the poll up. Let's get this little...
Yeah. That can be an explanation for what's going on.
Okay, so when we had the poll up here, we did have which card would you consider the face of Power 9? Let me minimize that so you guys can see that a little bit better. So which one would you consider for the Power 9 of the ones we talked about last week? Jeweled Lotus, hands down, was the winner of this. I think I would have probably picked Dual Lands personally, but Jewel Lotus got 50% of the votes. Dual Lands, 20% of the votes. 18% went to Gaia's Cradle, and 12% went to Cyclonic Rift. But when you check out the comments, and if it loads here, there's a lot of people saying Soul Ring, Soul Ring, Soul Ring. There's another Soul Ring. And I was like, well, we understand that, but the idea of Power 9 was more of like how they feel like the original Power 9, which are very expensive cards, hard to get and all that. And so that's kind of, and very powerful cards. Soul Ring is very powerful, don't get me wrong there, but everybody has it. I mean, everybody has like 300 of them, you know, like it's just a ridiculous amount.
And when, you know, we had the explanation of it has to feel powerful, it changes the game when it comes down, and Soul Ring happens so often that it doesn't have the awe. It has the awe shucks.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you have to kill that player.
Yeah, they're gonna come out quicker. There isn't, you know, it just,
when Soul Ring comes out, I always yell out cheater.
Right.
When it comes out turn one.
It is absolutely, Soul Ring is absolutely the face of Commander.
Yes. Yep. So
that's why Mount Rushmore of Commander is this week's topic, as in they're different lists.
Yeah.
All right. That's the whole big thing. There are two different ideas. They're two different lists, and we somehow had to figure out how to separate the two. And so I did my best. I did not include anything from the Power 9 onto
Yes.
my Mount Rushmore, even though there are some that could deserve to be there.
Right. That is
You thought that?
Yes, that is exactly what I was thinking. I was like, okay, I can't put that there, but it would totally be up there. So
Just making sure that the people that are leaving comments on the polls are just wrong and understanding that it's a separate idea.
So and I want to kind of put this out there is like, whatever we're doing, this isn't a Fave 5 style. What that means, if people are new to this,
Also true.
is neither of us have collaborated with this. We don't know what each other's list is, and
Other than Soul Ring,
Other than
we
Soul Ring.
absolutely know that is the face of Commander.
yeah, that is the front and center. This is Commander.
Yep.
Soul Ring is there. But other than that, we don't know what each other's lists are, and I don't even know what my list is until I start saying it here. So this is going to be very interesting.
Here's another thing that, when it comes to Mount Rushmore, like the two that I've seen on like debates about or questions that you're asking professional basketball players, like who's your Mount Rushmore of basketball, or retired wrestlers, who is your Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling, like WWE. And oftentimes people have very similar lists, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it is the best card. It's when you think of basketball, who are you thinking?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people snap Michael Jordan, and
Right.
he would be Power 9 NBA,
Right.
right? As well, it'd be a back and forth, but he was the face of it. But it also depends on how old you are, how
Right.
into the NBA lore you are, what preferences do you have, and those all go into it. Or with wrestling, the same thing. A lot of older wrestlers will say Andre the Giant or somebody that I don't even know.
Hulk Hogan.
But Hulk Hogan is our generation,
Right.
And somebody that's the younger generation, like Gen Z or Alpha or whatever, they likely wouldn't say Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
because he's getting to be too old. And so all of this is also a perspective part.
Lowry's laying this out there because what he's trying to say is our lists are going to probably be very different than what your lists are going to be.
Right. That's all I'm saying. And more, please put down your Mount
we
Rushmore
wanna hear that.
in the
Everybody's-
comments. I would love to see where people are on
Right.
this. You don't have to call us out because it's our Mount Rushmore.
Right. That is a good point.
Not
Hey,
yours.
That is a good point. Don't get mad at us. We're just bringing up the topic here.
Saying that, I tried to think of other people's perspectives as well in some of it.
Well, and I'll do a little caveat to this is like, I could go, hey, these are the top cards, EDH rec numbers, boom, 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 boom. And maybe
But
I'll
nobody
say
wants to
that,
talk about
right,
Cultivate.
and I might say that at the end of which cards I would have picked if I was being boring. But
Okay.
I picked different cards that when I see these cards, I immediately think Commander. Like I'm like, this is Commander. This is a Commander card. I see this all the time, and that's also another thing. Play groups. If your play group doesn't play certain cards all the time, or maybe there's a ban in your play group for certain things, you don't see these cards at all. It all depends on what your style is. If they're very highly aggressive play group, if they're very casual, you're not going to see certain cards. So that also plays into factor here. So let's we laid out all the hey, don't get mad at us
We're doing
stuff
it.
on the table. So now let's get
Don't be
to,
mad at us. Don't be rude. Just
let's get to our
lay out whatever you're thinking.
I think you're the first one this week. I think
Okay.
you start. So what is the second one besides Soul Ring? What is on your Mount Rushmore? And we'll go back and forth. So I won't hear all three.
I'm going to go a little bit in age of order as well and applying it. So I made a list of what I would think could be on Mount Rushmore. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe the easiest way to do this is to apply these ideas to what the presidents are. And so Soul Ring is George Washington, the obvious face of America, and Soul Ring, obvious face of Commander. Now, if we're going to go with Thomas Jefferson,
God,
the main architect
so
of the
lame.
Constitution, protecting our freedoms, what better card to protect your commander
Oh, no.
than Lightning Greaves?
Okay.
That is where
All right.
you were thinking for his protection.
Yes, I was.
I get what you're saying, but if I'm going to go with, it's old school, it can go in any deck. It doesn't matter what color it is. And
Can I say
that's what Jefferson was. He didn't care what color it was. And
Can I
Nice.
say that this was my makes the list of my boring list.
was it? I didn't
but-
really look at how many of the numbers are, but for me, this is something that is always considered.
1 million.
1 million. Yeah.
And actually, that's funny that you picked this because I had it. So when I did my original list, I had it as like not the fourth, but it's just I wrote it down as the last spot, and I had or Swiftfoot. Swiftfoot has more decks it's in, but when you see Lightning Greaves is the thing that you see in every game. Like almost every single game has a Lightning Greaves. It's how do we deal with that? Let's get this sucker out of there. The Equip 0 is huge. We've had this staple versus battle before. I think it is hands and feet above what Swiftfoot boots would be. Yeah. So
and I do think when you look at it, I do think it's a little bit more of a face for Commander. Boots, I agree. Boots is right there. It's always right there when I'm building decks. I just like the free equip.
Right.
It's just being able to play the Commander, and if it's out, boom, it's protected. You have a little bit of time for people to react.
Yep.
And it's right there. It's really hard to cut. And I like it, and it keeps its value. You know what I mean? It's being reprinted, and it just holds its $5 value at this point as well. But that's not this segment. What is your?
Well,
do you want to say Thomas Jefferson? Or
I'm not even going to do all that fun stuff.
All right.
But I will say I forgot to mention Soul Ring is in 3.32 million decks, so it is the number one card in Commander when you're doing EDH rec deck stuff. It is the number one spot. So I'm going to go with the protection one that I thought you were about to say. So I'm actually going to do Teferi's Protection.
I get it.
And this one is just, it's in Commander games. This is a Commander card. It gets played all the freaking time. You see this almost in every single game. It's the ultimate protection in Commander. And when I see this card, I just immediately think Commander. Like, this is just the top. And this wasn't in our Power 9 this time. It was in our Power 9 the first time we did it.
Yeah.
So it just, love this card. For 3, it's just fantastic. And people don't,
it definitely saves your ass.
Yep. It's not like a Cyclonic Rift type thing where you see it coming because they have 7 mana open. This is only 3. It's easy to play. It just gets played all the time, whether you, I always get taken back by it. Like all of a sudden I'm just like, all right, I got this. And I do it all the time too. I play this in every white deck. If I have white, this is one that I shove in there because it is the ultimate protection. But
and it is one that I don't, again, it's not a Cyclonic Rift. I don't feel bad playing it. It's something that's very reactionary and very much like, I don't want to lose the game rather than setting the game back.
Right.
If you're not going to win with a Rift or whatever.
Yeah.
I think I knew that you like Teferi's Protection. You like it more than me, and so I gave it to you.
Oh.
But really, Heroic Intervention could be right here in this conversation as well.
Right. I didn't even put. Oh no, I did. I have, and actually, so this is in 368,000 EDH rec decks. Heroic Intervention surprisingly is in 534,000. So it's in near, not double, but it's it's almost double of what. Actually, it's a little less, but still it's 200,000 more in Heroic with Heroic Intervention. I think that's a price thing because now they've been printing the crap out of it.
Availability, like Heroic Intervention has been in at least 1 to 2 Commander decks.
Right. And well, even the Doctor Who it's been in there. Yeah, it's been getting printed in precons lately. I think because they got it knocked down, now they're like, all right, we're sub $10. Let's just start putting it in all these Commander decks because now we are here's a list. Oh, I like this list here. By Joel, he has Smothering Tithe, Monocrypt, Rhystic Study, Heroic Intervention, Teferi's Protection, and Cyclonic Rift. Hey.
We don't have enough room on the side of the mountain there, bud. That's that's a lot. You gotta knock that down.
Get your 4. Get it down to 4. All right. So what is your third choice?
My Abe Lincoln. All right. This is going old school. This is this is this is quite old school, and this is kind of in the spirit of the game type card. And also, I absolutely know you don't have this on your list. I'm gonna go with Arcane Denial.
Oh no! Wow, you don't even play counters.
Right. But what this used to be was the fair.
It is a very fair
counterspell.
I don't mind getting
you
countered by
counterspell
this.
for a blue and a colorless. Then at the next upkeep, you draw a card, they draw a card.
Yep.
How does this apply to Abe Lincoln? You are counterspelling slavery, but also committing a little bit of being assassinated by letting them draw a card. Right? That's
What are you doing? So,
but also this is old school staple.
Okay.
This was the idea of Commander, was not worrying about if other people gain value. It was really about having a fun game. You're holding this card and cards like it. There's a handful of them to stop somebody from winning the game. They used to love the games going on forever. You know what I mean? Like that's just what Commander used to be, because it was so much less efficient. It was not, cards weren't made for it at that point. And so it was that this is an OG card. Before they started making the pre-cons, this was kind of the protection. So that's why this is here. And that is what it is, I guess. And I know you don't like counterspells, but this was really I saw it, I was just like, oh, this is a very old school card.
Yeah, and the thing I should say is like I want to pull up the old one because that's the one that I always remember. Because
RoboCop, get out of here.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I know what are you doing.
I should do Urza's Saga in here. No, I didn't do that, RoboCop. I should have.
No, I don't have Yavimaya.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's not a commander card. I'm just kidding. But no, I don't even know how many decks this is in, so I can't. It's probably in a lot, but this is one that I don't mind getting countered with this one because I'm like, oh, I get to draw cards. Okay, that's fine. You know, it sucks. I didn't get to do what I wanted to do, but I still get to draw a card. And you're disrupting whatever's happening, and you get to replace the card with the counterspell thing. So I dig it. I don't know.
Well, and again, it was back before fixing was as good as it is. It literally, the game started with the Elder Dragon Highlander. It was the Elder Dragons from Legends. And you basically had to get to 8 mana. You didn't have the ramp that you have. And that's why Soul Ring was so important back then too. And I'm glad that it's, Soul Ring is printed in everything to the gill. But in that regard, you could go super aggro and nobody'd ever play their commander, right?
Yeah.
So the idea was to start, allow people to play their commanders at that 8 mana spot. And it's a 2-3 hour game, easy at that point. So it was just, it's that Andre the Giant call, as in this is really old school. It depends on how old you are to appreciate this kind of card.
All right. I can dig it.
That's all I'm saying.
I can dig it. All right. Well, mine are all, I'm not going old school with it. I'm not following your
That's fine. This is your list.
So I'm gonna the one I am going with next is actually one that is on a lot of our lists and should have made our list last week, but it's the Great Henge. When you think of Commander or you see this card as, of course, a Commander card. You're playing big creatures. This card, this is just a ridiculous card. It's fantastic in every way. You get this out normally for 2, maybe at 4. And it just does a lot of work. It isn't in as many decks as I thought, but again, the cheapest version. That is also what plays a factor in a lot of these that I'm picking. This could have been in our Power 9. We talked about it at the end of Power 9 last week. We're like, how did we miss the Great Henge? But the cheapest version is $54. So that is one of the biggest factors why this one is not in more than 185,000 EDH rec decks. That's still a lot. but
A lot.
it would be in a lot more if the card was a $20 card or less. So this makes my top list. Just when I see this card, it's for sure Commander. I mean, does it played? I guess it can be played in any other.
Well, yeah. I mean, like it's
format,
mana, it's life gain, it's card draw. Like it's everything that you want in a card. Also, it is the best. So number one on everybody's list. Spoiler alert. It's Great Henge at number one.
Yeah, Great Henge. We always, it's kind of the bit too. And I was like, I got to keep Great Henge on there because it's always our. I should have left it for number one, but I didn't know if you were going to steal it or not. But you're going old school and off the board stuff, so I don't know if.
No, it's just one. I don't think Greaves was too far off the board.
No, I said.
And my next one is not either.
I told you Greaves was on my regular list until I was like, I need to think a little bit. Not saying that was a bad pick. I'm just saying what I had for my 4. And I'll tell you at the end, it was really boring. And I was like, this is going to suck. So this is just, I like this card a lot. It goes in every green deck, especially if you're not every green deck. It goes into big creature-ish decks. And I love playing this card. It's fantastic. All right. What is your last choice, right? We're on our last choice.
All right. So the Teddy Roosevelt, this is the one where I get to put what? It's basically my favorite card. I will fight anybody over it, just like Teddy would fight anybody over anything.
Are you gonna get it on the
Teddy's
list?
probably my favorite president as well. Just got to say that there's a lot of good that he did.
Hey,
I like
Teddy.
national parks,
Teddy.
stuff like that. But
are you gonna do it? What are you gonna do?
I don't know. You know my favorite card. It's gonna be Sensei's Divining Top.
Hell yeah, it is. Good job. That's on my. I didn't put it like I was gonna say it, but I was like, oh, I want this card. It should be in everybody's freaking list. I am so happy you picked this one. All right, go ahead.
This is in 95% of my decks.
It is.
It is just cheap, and again, I try and not combo with it. I'm not trying to do like Bolas Citadel shit.
It's just the best fix. It doesn't get killed.
It's something that allows you. It to me, it's on that basis of like Ponder, Preordain, Brainstorm. It is the best cantrip, and it just isn't blue. It can go everywhere, and it's constant. And you have little tricks that you can do with it, and you can adjust the top 3. And again, it's super cheap. There's artifact synergies, draw synergies, manipulating the top synergies. It does so much for so little. The only gripe that I ever hear is that it takes people too long. I think what you do is you just need to give yourself a bit of time to practice with it.
Yeah, you got to get practice.
And know what you want.
Right. It doesn't take that long. Like it's 15 seconds at most. You look at it, it shouldn't even take that long.
Again, the card selection. If you're going into a draw and you're like, I need this card. Before you draw, you can pay 1, look at the top 3, and know what you want.
Right.
If it's not there, it doesn't matter.
And you don't have to worry about removal unless it's split second stuff. I mean, this sucker it protects itself by being able to draw a card. You can shuffle away anything you don't like, and you don't like cards coming up. You shuffle it away with your fetches or your tutors. Like, it is such a goddamn good card. It is efficient. It's everything I ever want in a card. And it would be in, again, of the cards that we are picking. It's kind of funny because this is in 244,000 EDH rec decks. That's a lot, but I think it should be more. Again, it's a price tag thing, and that it hasn't been printed in like a standard-ish kind of set or anything like that. We have double masters kind of thing that it got printed in, but really has not seen a lot of printings. And it really, if you are not playing with Sensei's Top, you need to get on board with it because it is one of the greatest cards to play with. So it helps your decks flow better. It's just a great card. I'm really glad that you got that on there. Okay. So
and your last one, what do we got?
I don't know what I want to pick here. I mean, I have
you have a smorgasbord of it now. Whatever you want. I'm not gonna steal it.
I'm gonna do one that it's in every because we had did we have Ristic Study? I'm not taking that one, but did we?
It was.
Okay,
it was on a par 9.
So I was gonna say because
that was definitely one where I was like, oh no.
Smothering Tithe is where I'm going because hand in hand, Smothering Tithe and Ristic Study go together. This is this goes in so many games have this card out. You see Smothering Tithe and the person just gets tons and tons of treasures. No one's paying 2 for you to get a treasure. It's just ridiculous. It's in 466,000 EDH rec decks. Again, this is over $20 at this point, and would probably be an even more if this was a cheaper card, but it's just that good of a card. And it can really swing games. You can sometimes get not burned, but I've only seen it a handful of times be a dud because somebody's played everything in their hand and they can't use anything. Most of the time, it comes back to your turn and you're like, well, I can do anything. This is just a commander card in its full. Like, I love this card a lot.
And it's the perfect card for commander because, like, I don't think it was very much in standard. I don't play standard. It's not modern. It's not legacy. It's not in vintage. It is the perfect card for commander, and it's so good. But it's not CEDH because it's almost like too slow. But it is perfect for the casual, high-powered game.
Yeah.
There's so much drawing, and it sucks. But again, like you're saying, nobody pays a 2. 2's like too much.
Yeah, it is. If it was 1, maybe that would be a little bit more fair. But the 2, no one pays that.
there could have been some type of caveat, like the first card somebody draws, it doesn't count, or like on the draw upkeep, the draw, aspect. Like, but it's so good. It's only for commander. Essentially, it is essentially a perfect commander card. Totally agree. Glad that you picked it.
Yeah. So
it was on my list, but I did, obviously not.
So the one that I kind of, when we were talking about that was on other stuff like Dockside, I was like, well, that could have been a good one in here.
That was Power 9.
Yeah, that was Power 9. That's why I didn't have that. I'm surprised you didn't pick up like Blasphemous Act because that was kind of on your Power 9 a little bit. Is that on your your big list?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it and I thought about it, and then I was just like, there are cards that I personally think of.
Yeah,
we don't
see the thing is my point with Blasphemous is that we don't see that much. Not a lot of people play that in our group. I don't play that card. I don't think it's in any single
I understand that a 1 to 3 mana Wrath is really, really good. And but we don't really Wrath a whole ton.
Right. We try not to do that as much. Okay, so here is my boring list. I'm not
Wait, I think what's your boring list here?
So I just went like if you really think Commander, Command Tower.
Yeah. Arcane Signet
and Lightning Greaves were going to be my 4, and I was like, that's really boring. Like, I totally get Lightning Greaves. Like Lightning Greaves, I was keeping on my list because I think it is a very unique, good card to talk about. But the other two is like Command Tower. It's in every single deck. Arcane Signet at this point, it's in every 2+ color deck. So,
just you bringing up Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, and Command Tower, I'm sure number 2 flipped his table. He's like, fucking Staples!
But
I agree. I'm glad that you went a different route, but it could be that too. Yeah. I mean, it absolutely could be that.
Because those are cards that could go in every single deck. I mean, pretty much. I mean, you can even put Arcane Signet in 1-color decks, and it's totally fine. Like 1-color Lightning Greaves goes in there. Command Tower could go in 1-color decks. So I was like, this one's really boring. I don't want to do that. So anyways, we want to hear what your guys' Mount Rushmore is. So please leave that in the comments below. We are going to do a poll. So I want to see if you think it will be popped up probably on tomorrow, on Tuesday. I want to see if you liked Lowry's list better or my list better for the Mount Rushmore, or if you think they're both trash. So that's going to be kind of your options.
Wow.
And to hear your guys' options as well. So make sure you guys, if you're on YouTube, subscribe to us first of all. Second of all, check out the community tab, and that's where you'll be able to do the voting. Speaking of, we already did the voting for that, and we already did all that stuff. So I guess we now kind of like get into our tag stuff. I do want to make...
We can do that, yeah.
Let me get to our Commander Smith site. So we have our store here, but for those patrons, all our patrons, we're doing a new thing this month, and we're going to continue this for the foreseeable future. Each month we're going to be doing a drawing, cracking some packs, collector boosters, and opening up packs for patrons. And this month we are going to be opening 6 packs, and that'll be on Wednesday. Let's see if we can get it centered up. We're going to do Outlaws of Thunder Junction, the collector boosters. So on Wednesday we'll be going live Wednesday evening. So whether you're watching us now or you're hearing us on the podcast. Make sure you guys tune into that, especially if you're a patron. If you aren't a patron, it's not too late. You can become a patron and get in and try get. You got the Team Force
Hashtag
walk?
Team Force walk.
Get the I almost said yours.
You an aggressive button pusher.
So yeah, we're going to be doing giveaways for all levels. So $1, we're going to be giving away foil proxies. $5 tier, we have the metal tokens, and then when you get to the $10, $15, and $20 tier, we'll be giving away packs, and you guys can see what you're winning there. So make sure you guys tune in for that. That is all for patrons. Another way, I guess the ways you can support us is becoming a patron. Another way you guys can support the Commander Smiths is by donating on the show. You can see right there, we can take Malort shots. Another way is check out our store right here, commandersmiths.com. You can get the mugs that we are drinking out of right now. Play mats, our custom play mats we got made, the custom t-shirts. Lowry has got Malort. I would just say build a better deck. You can see we got Welcome to the Meat Force. And then the metal tokens, like I mentioned, we're going to be giving away one of these on Wednesday as well, and we'll be adding more tokens to that. And then lastly, I mentioned the mugs, and that is the mugs there. So those are ways you guys can support us. The other way, the free way to support us, is jump on YouTube and subscribe if you haven't done so already. You can follow us there. We have tons of videos that go on. You actually did a spotlight deck yesterday on Sunday, right? You worked on a spotlight?
Yeah, so Gonti, Canny, Inquisitor.
Oh, RoboCop got $10. Well, how the hell?
Is that a regular? I think that's a regular shot.
I think that's a regular shot. I didn't put the thing up. How do we? I didn't put the numbers up. RoboCop came in late too. So do we just do a Malort because we haven't done one?
Is that what you want? You want a Malort? Is that what you're going for?
He didn't say on
yeah.
there.
So
Thank
Gonti,
you, RoboCop, by the way.
Basically, it's gonna be thanks, bud. And basically, it's gonna be a bunch of little creatures with evasion. It's a little bit like your ninja idea, where you have creatures that have ETBs and other abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to do ninjas, and then I was like, I'm just fucking stealing his idea at that point. Let's not do that.
I don't play it that much anymore, so you can definitely do that.
But I didn't. There's one ninja in there, but all 3 owls. And
the owls are fucking fantastic for that.
Yeah,
I love it. They're so good. I love
Go out and
owls.
get them foil sage owls, people. But it's
And I should pull up Gonti just so people can see. So it's Gonti.
Yeah. That's a good point. So he's 2 colorless, green, blue, black, 5/5, Aetherborn rogue, and then cast that you are, or spells you're casting but you don't own cost 1 less, and whenever a creature you control 1 or more deal damage to an opponent, so you can get 3 per turn. You get to exile the top card, and you can cast that, and the mana doesn't matter. It's like
really quick. RoboCop is asking the Malortometer changed because Lowry is. Oh yeah, I forgot you were way up north. You were up by basically in the tundra, the freaking
literally
True
as far
Detective
north as you can
area,
go.
basically. So Lowry's drinking since his birthday because he has a lot of beer that we all brought to his birthday. And so because of that, we're just doing the Malort shots at this point instead of doing the Malorto meter. So since you didn't know that, you can, if you want us to take a Malort shot, we can definitely do that. I'm fine with it.
Do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he's gonna say no. All right.
Might as well get it right.
Might as well. Okay, that's what we're doing. Would you like us to take a Malort shot? Is that what you want? All right, give us a second. Jesus.
Yeah. Okay. So, so that was Gonti. That was a spotlight deck. I did have proxy time. No, that wasn't last week. But again, we do have the giveaway here. We did do the secret layer drop. So those are videos. We have tons of videos that go out each week. Throughout the month, we have lots of videos, especially with a secret layer or budget upgrades or pre-cons, all that stuff. So just make sure if you're listening, jump on YouTube and subscribe there because that's where you can get all our content. That helps us out more than you know. We are also on Twitter. Whatever. We don't X that.
We're not. That's a good line. We're also on Twitter. X that. Don't go there.
We are on Instagram, which we don't know what's happening there. Just saw that news that you sent over to me there, Lowry. Oh shit! I don't have a shot glass either. I forgot we were doing that. You got to give me a second.
right.
And then, what else are we on? We are on TikTok. So all these platforms besides YouTube,
Right. We're fucked
are
everywhere.
like-
TikTok's our best,
Yeah.
and that's getting banned in America.
YouTube is our best, actually, but
Well, yeah, that's true.
TikTok
YouTube, we love you.
Thank you, YouTube. Don't change.
Yeah. You go get a shot glass. I'll talk shit. Yeah, and so Twitter basically died pretty quick for us. It hasn't really changed since Musk took over, but also it sounds like Instagram is going to a pay-to-play model. So if you're paying to like essentially boost your videos, that's how you're going to get seen. And I don't know when that's taking effect, but that's got to be rough on us because we just kind of started there. We don't have a ton of followers on Instagram, but you could always go find us on Instagram at Commander Smiths. We got a couple videos there. Again, it's only been around for a couple months for us, but
We're there.
it always helps, whatever it needs to be.
Hey, so early birthday present. Cindy got me a new mini fridge. So I'm able to do
Oh.
chilled Malort now. I got it underneath
Look
there.
at you.
Yeah, so mine, it's all nice and cold. It's probably going to still taste like shit.
Oh yeah, it tastes like shit. I'm surprised that's not their tagline. Malort,
It tastes like shit.
It tastes-
We are trying
If you're
to
not
actually-
really friends with your friends, this is what you do. It is the exact thing of, I mean, when you're really friends with your friends, it's the, hey, smell this. That's what you do with your friends. Like, hey, taste this. And then it becomes your entire identity as a podcast.
I mean, that's what happens when I drink is I'm like, hey, let's all take a shot of Malort because I like torturing myself and you guys as well.
Absolutely.
So- All right, let's take that shot really quick. It's not filled to the brim
Robocop.
because this is like a shot and a half of it, but yeah. All right, RoboCop, thank you.
Welcome
buddy.
back, bud.
Yeah. Oh God. Whoa.
Ugh.
When you don't take it for a long time.
Right.
Oh. Because we had it as drinks.
Fucking Aether. Holy shit. That's just
I like
fire.
getting always like kung fu like stance, like I'm gonna fight somebody. When I take
You gotta
Malort.
fight your breath. That's what's going on. Holy shit.
Cindy's not gonna like sleeping next. I remember back the old days with it. We were doing the Malort shot. She's like, "Yep, I could tell when you had a 3-shot Malort night because
Right.
I couldn't face you in bed. It's just coming out of my pores."
How you doing? Just get off me. That's why I sleep in the basement now. It's
Oh, thank you, RoboCop. Okay, so I think that's all that stuff, right? We got all the polls.
I think
We
so,
got the patron giveaway. So yeah, make sure you guys become. You got till Wednesday. So if you guys aren't patrons, or even if you are a patron and you're only $1 level, I think if you adjust your level, it does. They changed how they do things. So if you wanted to adjust for the giveaway stuff, you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to tell you, the higher you are, the better chances that you're going to be able to win a pack because there's a lot less people, obviously, because you have more people at the lower levels than the higher levels. So there's a better chance to win. Math.
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 That math is mathing.
All right. Let's get to, I got to get out of here. And we're going to go to this.
It is not going with the beer either.
Yeah,
So
it's
bad.
coated in my mouth. Oh, I should do one more announcement. Is SmithCon is coming up. We are almost less than we are over a month away from SmithCon. So anybody that's a patron, that's another patron bonus. And if you live near the Twin Cities or you want to travel here, make sure you guys become a patron because we are getting that going. It's a lot of magic all weekend, so fun stuff. In June, just so you know. All right, let's get to this. It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant. All right, if you guys don't know how this game works, I am going to read the flavor text of a card, and Lowry is going to try to guess the card by asking yes or no questions. Every yes, he'll hear this.
Hello, boobies.
Every no, he'll hear this.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
He will get up to 5 wrong guesses before he's considered stumped. He gets up to 3 clues. If he can get everything about the card but can't get what the card name is, he will get the initials of the card. If he still has a clue left over, he will get a bonus clue, which should help give it away. The card has to be at least 10,000 EDH direct decks. I already said that. We are on Lowry's record currently is 89-29. So this is round 29, week 3. We currently have, if Lowry does not get stumped this week, we will add a card to the ante. We have a foil proxy of Shadowy Backstreet. Backstreet? I think I did that joke already. Backstreet's back, all right. I think I did that last week.
You did. I think you can do it every time.
No, I'm not gonna. So every 3 weeks, we will add a card to the ante. First week always starts off with a foil proxy, and then we move on from there, from that point forward. This week's Stumper is Token Joker, aka Scott. And I think that's it. Oh, I eliminated the chat, so chat can play along, see if you can get this before Lowry does. And here we go. Some train all their lives for a shot at the title. Some just really, some get really, really lucky. Let me read that again. Some train all their lives for a shot at the title. Some just get really, really lucky. Yeah.
At the title. That seems like a weird spot, or like where it's a weird word, so it should be almost specific to certain spots. So what would a title be that would be like a competition, which sports, in my mind, it's probably Battle Bond. Like that was an entire like sport thing. And for some reason also like Streets of New Capenna came to mind with like a slight boxing theme of like getting like, you know, the mob kind of coercing, and that's what really, really lucky could mean as well. And so that really though vary 2 different places. And that's not going to help me if I ask where that is. Some train all their lives for a shot at the title. Some just get really, really lucky. Okay, so that also is saying that some people have to train really hard to get a shot at the title, and some people get really lucky to get a shot at the title. So it's, we're likely referencing the person that is really lucky. Luck ends up being like dice rolling, coin flipping as well. I don't know if that's referencing at all. Those 2 things likely take Streets of New Capenna out if that is involved.
Ted,
also luck.
Ted, yes.
Ted got it?
No. He's asking a question. He's
okay.
Doing
What's his question? What's his?
Something.
The other thing is luck ends up being like red blue based. Okay, so that's where I'll probably go. Is this red and or blue color identity at all?
Hello, boobies.
You guys had
there we go.
similar questions.
I'll take a first clue, please.
The art features a goblin that is also seen on another card from the same set with a fire sword on top of a pile of dead bodies.
All right. This is from
shit.
Battle Bond.
Shit.
Hello, boobies.
All right.
I gave too much away. I didn't give too much away. I'm just describing the art.
Okay. No, I semi have it in my head. I absolutely know the one that you're referencing, not the one that you described, but the one.
The other one.
Like it's him and another character walking out into the arena. That's the one that you're saying he's on the other card. That's the other card. The
Hello,
one that
boobies.
you're talking about.
I know you were doing a question.
But I'm there. Okay. Shit. It's a Wrath. It's a Wrath style card. Okay, so how do I
Can I just say I'm impressed that from the flavor text you brought it to Battle Bond. Like that is impressive because it was just like It's talking about a title, blah, 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 blah. Like, that was pretty impressive to get to there. I'm not saying you got it yet. You have zero wrong, but you're there. like, it's only a matter of time until you figure this out.
It's a sorcery.
Hello, boobies.
Red, black, colorless.
Hello, boobies.
I need the initials. That's going to be my problem.
Well, the second clue is going to give you the text, so if you want to get that, you'd still have a bonus clue.
So I know it destroys creatures, and then one is left over, and then you gain control of that shit or something. I don't think you gain control of it, but maybe that's why the red is involved. I got to get there but I got a couple of questions right. Let's move on to the second question.
Ted said,
Second clue, please.
Dude is a legit savant, is what Ted said. The text features a random choice and destruction.
Yeah. So I already kind of knew that. Do I have to have exact wording on it?
No, but I'll make you adjust things if I need to.
Okay. So it's destroy. It's essentially destroy all creatures. One creature randomly survives.
Hello, boobies.
Yeah. It is choose a creature at random, then destroy the rest. So flip flop. All right. The initials are LOS. LOS.
LOS?
Yep. So 3 words.
Oh shit.
LOS.
That did not trigger anything, unfortunately. Looks like we're here all night, folks. Woo!
You get a big bonus clue, but I'm gonna give you this: is that it completely makes sense for what the card does, like the LOS. If there's, I've got to figure out how I want to word the last big bonus clue.
Okay, so I need to, LOS. So it'd be like.
Okay, here we go. Here goes the big bonus clue. I'll let you work it out, and if you need the big bonus clue, you tell me.
And so, like, I'm trying to picture the card right now, and because, like, if I get a clear picture of what the art is, that always helps me a little bit. And I have a relative idea of what it's like. You know, he's like looking like this over.
Other
like,
hand.
out.
I'm just kidding.
As the camera switches.
Yeah.
Us,
That's
so
what I was gonna say. Is the camera flips you, so you actually had it right.
And so O is going to be like of or on or so it's like
You're there. Let me give you this hint really quick. It's a common thing that's in video games where you're shooting everybody, and it's like a ton of people, and it all comes down to the last one wins. So it's like a mode, like instead of like team battle, it's everybody against everybody, but there's only one winner. So it's called.
No, now I understand that you think that I would understand
like
playing
Halo
games with
had
other
that.
people.
Halo
but
had that.
I just
you played Halo.
King of the Mountain. Is that? I'm just kidding.
I know that. I mean that's kind of a King of the Mountain, but there's a name for it when it's everybody is a free for all, and then there can only be one person that wins.
Capture the flag. I'm just kidding.
That's a team battle. That's still team. So everybody dies, and then there's. LOS.
People generally didn't like invite me to play games with them, so this is incredibly tough.
That's not true. All right.
Hold on. I think I'm getting there.
Yeah, I'm not giving any more hints with that, but I'm just like trying to reword how I said it.
Last.
Hello, boobies.
Last one surviving.
Wrong.
Close.
First one wrong.
Yeah, first one wrong.
All right.
I was like, no, you got last right.
Yeah. Last one. I said last one surviving.
Yeah, you said. Yep.
Survival. Is it? Yeah, it's surviving. Survival. Survive.
What do you think the second word is?
I think it's survive.
No, it's LOS.
Oh. Yeah. I think it's last. Is it one?
Hello, boobies.
There you go.
So it's the surviving, survived, survival. I
last
said
one.
surviving.
Last one. S. Last one
it-
S.
SURV. Start.
Wrong.
No, it's an E. Goddamn my. Ah.
She can't even
All
read.
right. Last one.
Yep. Joel got it, and then Ted got it right away. Both those two got it.
Give me a second.
Oh, good.
They got the word that you are struggling with. Last one S.
Last one. Standing. Last one standing. There we go.
I was like, jeez.
Hello,
How is he not getting the standing? It's like, I can't do any more hints. This is.
You were right. It was the other arm.
Yeah.
Over the-
There
we
it
go.
is. See, okay. I wasn't sure if you are
Yeah.
flipped.
Jesus, I was gonna die. I was gonna go through every iteration of
Yeah, I know. And then you started spelling it. I'm like, no, just even starting SU or whatever you did. I was like, nope.
Well, that was the problem. Like I knew it was. I felt like it was survive something. I didn't know if it was ing, like any of those. And then when these, essentially, even though I probably spelt it wrong, it when it wasn't that, then it actionated all of those, and then I got, I was able to push it out of my head. Like, that's not right. Okay. So, yeah,
You did
great
it.
choice.
You did
Battle
it.
Bond is one of my favorite planes. I love that set.
Yeah, that was fun. That
I
was a
wish
fun
they
set.
went back to it
Yeah.
for sure. Great choice, Joker.
All right, Token Joker, you can send this card signed if you want, or land or whatever, and it can make the wall if you decide. You don't have to. Most people don't. I mean, we get probably 10% of the people that actually send it in. But if you do, we might play with this. We liked this card when it came out. I haven't put it in a deck at all. Have you?
Well, no, but that problem is that like
It's that
we don't,
Wrath
we
effect
don't
thing.
play. I don't play a lot of Wraths, and I
Yeah.
haven't for a long time. And so I'd have to find a place that wants it.
Right. It's
And if you sent it to us signed, I'd find a place for it.
oh,
How about that?
look at that. There we go.
It'd make it into one of the decks.
All right, we're going to draw the name
Next
for
week?
next week, and that will be adding another card to the ante. We don't know what it is yet. All right, I got a name. What do I got? Oh, it's a green one. That means it's an older one. And this one is going to be Tyler Apefink. He's done some of these
there
before.
we go. Yeah, he's not. All right.
All right, so make sure you guys send those in. We're getting lower on the names. Get the names in here, and we can. You're getting a better chance to get your name drawn. Better chance to win some stuff here. So make sure you guys send that to commandersmiths@gmail.com, or you can direct message me on Discord if you are a patron. Other than that, I think that'll do it for this week.
I think we're good.
If you guys make sure if you're a patron, check us out on Wednesday. We'll be live again doing the box drawing, and that should do it for this week. We will catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
I love boobs. I'm talking tatas.
Oh,
I
Renshine,
love
Esteban,
boobs.
Robocop,
Some talkers were honkers.
Joel,
I love
Ted.
boobs.
Oh, there's-
Thanks for the memory.
I think that's everybody. Joel, everybody. Okay, we're good. All right. Thank you guys for joining, and thanks for the shot there, Robocop and Lowry.
Hey, Meat Boys, could you kindly tap the like and subscribe button? And if you're ever in the mood, head on over to commandersmiths.com and you can get the shirts and mugs you see on the screen and some other stuff. Thank you.
Hear me.